There is a specific frequency of silence that occurs right before a betrayal is revealed. It is not a quiet room, it is a heavy, pressurized stillness that rings in your ears. You feel a cold knot tighten in the pit of your stomach, a biological alarm bell ringing deep within your gut. You are lying in bed next to her, or perhaps sitting across from her at dinner, and you feel the distance. It is not physical distance, she is 3 feet away. It is a vast, icy chasm of withheld truth. You ask her a simple question, and there is a microsecond pause, a glitch in the matrix of her behavior, before she answers. You tell yourself you are being paranoid. You tell yourself you are insecure. You force a smile and suppress the instinct that has kept your ancestors alive for 200,000 years. You choose the comfort of the lie over the sharpness of the reality. This is the mistake of the weak man. He begs to be blindfolded because the light is too harsh. That if you are done living in the shadow of doubt, if you are ready to trade the bliss of ignorance for the burden of command, your transformation begins here. This channel is not for the fragile. It is for the men who demand the truth, no matter how much it bleeds. Subscribe now. Join the order of the awake. Leave the ranks of the sleeping. The human brain is a pattern recognition machine. Your intuition is not magic, it is raw data processing. It is your subconscious mind noticing 1,000 tiny deviations in her behavior, a change in tone, a shift in routine, a fleeting expression, and screaming at you that the pattern has broken. When a woman is hiding someone else, she is fighting a war on 2 fronts. She is fighting to maintain the illusion with you, and she is fighting the internal dissonance of her own guilt. This conflict creates leakage. It creates cracks in the facade. The nice guy ignores these cracks. He rationalizes them. He thinks that if he loves her enough, the cracks will seal themselves. The strategist does not ignore. He observes. He analyzes. He understands that trust is not given blindly, it is verified constantly. To know if you are being replaced, you must learn to read the code of her guilt. We will dissect 5 specific signs, 5 failures in her camouflage, that reveal the presence of another. The first sign is the geometry of the device. The smartphone is the black box of the modern soul. It holds the evidence of our sins. Watch how she interacts with this object. In the past, she might have left it on the table, screen up, indifferent to its notifications. Now, the device has become an extension of her nervous system. Observe the micro-movements. When she sits down, does she instinctively place the phone face down? This is the first layer of defense. It is a physical barrier between you and her secret. But look closer. Observe the angle. When she is typing, does she tilt the screen slightly away from your line of sight? It is a subtle shift, a matter of degrees, but it is deliberate. If you walk into the room while she is on her phone, does she lock the screen immediately? Does she jump? A woman with nothing to hide does not flinch when her partner enters the room. She does not guard a piece of glass and metal as if it were the nuclear codes. This hypervigilance is the symptom of a mind that is constantly managing a threat. She knows what is on that screen, and she knows that if you see it, the reality she has constructed will collapse. The second sign is the most counterintuitive, and therefore the most effective weapon in her arsenal, the projection, or what we call the guilt test. You might expect a cheating woman to be extra nice, to cover her tracks with affection. Sometimes this happens, but often, the pressure of her guilt morphs into aggression. She will accuse you of the very crime she is committing. She will become irrationally jealous. She will ask who you are texting. She will ask where you have been. She will scroll through your social media and pick fights over innocent interactions. This serves 2 purposes. First, it puts you on the defensive. Instead of analyzing her behavior, you are busy proving your own innocence. You are scrambling to reassure her, which distracts you from the truth. Second, and more darkly, it is a psychological mechanism to justify her own actions. If she can convince herself that you are also untrustworthy, that you are also a villain, then her betrayal becomes less heinous. It becomes retaliation. It becomes fair. If she suddenly starts treating you like a suspect without any provocation, it is because she knows what the crime looks like from the inside. This leads into the third sign, which is the flood of unnecessary detail. The truth is simple. The truth is economical. If you ask a loyal woman where she was, she will say she was at the grocery store. It is a boring, flat fact. But a lie requires construction. A lie requires architecture. When a person lies, they feel a subconscious need to make the story credible, so they overcompensate. They add texture. They add color. She will not just say she was at the store, she will tell you about the traffic on the way there, the person she ran into, the specific item they were out of, and how long the line was. She is painting a picture to cover the blank space where the truth should be. This is the cognitive load of deception. She is working too hard. If you ask a simple question and receive a 3-act play in response, do not applaud. Be suspicious. The strategist listens not to the story, but to the desperate need to sell the story. The fourth sign is a visceral shift in physical hygiene and the cleansing ritual. Pay close attention to her routine immediately upon returning home. Does she come through the door and head straight for the shower? Does she brush her teeth immediately? In the past, perhaps she would sit on the couch, relax, talk to you about her day. Now, there is an urgency to wash. On a surface level, this is a practical measure to remove the scent of another man, to wash away the physical evidence of betrayal. But on a deeper psychological level, it is a manifestation of the Lady Macbeth effect. She is trying to wash away the guilt. She feels dirty, not just physically, but morally. She cannot relax in your presence, in your shared sanctuary, until she has scrubbed the layer of deceit off her skin. If the shower becomes the first priority every time she returns from being out, she is washing off a secret. Finally, we arrive at the fifth and most devastating sign, the physical recoil. The body cannot lie as well as the tongue. We have millions of years of evolutionary programming that dictate our physical response to those we desire and those we are repulsed by. When you are intimate with her, or even when you simply touch her shoulder, observe the microreaction. Does she lean in, or does she pull back? Does she stiffen? When you kiss her, is it active, or is she a dead weight? This is the dead fish phenomenon. If she is being intimate with someone else, her bond with you is breaking. Her body perceives your touch as a violation of her new loyalty to the other male. It creates a dissonance. She may go through the motions to keep you suspicious-free, but the electricity is gone. The eyes will be open, staring at the ceiling or the wall, disassociating from the act. She is there in body, but her spirit is in another room, with another man. If you feel like you are forcing affection upon a statue, you are holding a corpse. The relationship is already dead. When you assemble these signs, the guarded phone, the sudden accusations, the complex stories, the immediate showers, the physical coldness, you have a complete picture. The nice guy looks at this picture and closes his eyes. He makes excuses. He says she is just stressed. He says she is just tired. He is terrified of the pain of loss. But you are not a nice guy. You are a strategist. You understand that pain is information. So, what is the protocol when the guilt test is failed? Do not explode. Do not scream. Do not beg. These are the reactions of a man who has lost control. Emotional outbursts only validate her betrayal, they make you look unstable and push her further toward the other man. Instead, you must become ice. You gather your evidence. You verify your intuition. And then, you execute the withdrawal. You must understand that you cannot negotiate desire. You cannot argue someone into being loyal. If she has crossed the line, the contract is void. The most powerful move you have is the willingness to walk away without a backward glance. When you confront her, if you choose to do so, do it with absolute calm. State the facts. Watch her crumble or deny. It does not matter. You know what you saw. You know what you felt. The feeling of betrayal is a fire, but you must let it forge you into something harder, something sharper. Do not let it make you bitter, let it make you wise. A man who can look at the reality of betrayal, accept it, and excise the cancer from his life is a man who cannot be destroyed. Trust your gut. It is the voice of your ancestors warning you of the predator in the grass. If the silence in your house feels heavy, if the phone is always face down, if the stories are too long, do not sleep. Watch. Wait. And when the truth reveals itself, have the strength to stand alone. The strategist does not fear solitude, he fears living a lie. Your dignity is the only currency that matters. Do not spend it on someone who is bankrupt.